Hello everybody, welcome back to SnowRunner, my hard mode playthrough. I am hopefully on the last episode, if it goes well, of Kola Peninsula. I think that makes it 32 episodes, which wouldn't be too bad if I managed to complete it today. I'm just in the Taiga with the S04E33 crane lorry sat behind me. I am approaching the garage with them. I just moved them up the road a little bit together off cam for the sake of making progress. In this episode, in order to complete and tick off Kola Peninsula is done, there are two things that I want to achieve. The game related one, or the mission related one, is we have one contract left. Every other task and contest and contract is finished. We got one contract left to deliver 2 more lots of medium logs to the power substation, and that's the power to the masses contract. So that's the game mission objective that's remaining. Once that's done, we're free to move on. And then the other objective, which is a self-imposed one, but obviously I feel it makes sense, is that I want to get all of my trucks back to the garage. So it's kind of where I spoke in the previous episode about operation evacuation. That's what I mean, is I want a self-imposed contract of getting all my trucks to the garage, because I don't like leaving a vehicle stranded on a map when I've moved on. I'd rather retain it and have the option of coming back. So that is the Azov and Taiga back to the garage. Done. The Vorongard is there because we left it there in a previous episode. It's got 0 fuel. Both of these two should have about 3/4 of a tank each. The Antarctic, the Yar, and the Loaf are in the garage compound, both basically empty of fuel. I have still to get the Phoenix and Crocodile moved up. I've got the Kasserin up at the substation where it helped the Aramatsu out of a little hole in the last episode, so I've got to get that back. And then down at the logging camp that we're about to drive down to, I've also got the Cat fuel bunker plus the little Zix. So, and I'd like to get all of those vehicles to the garage, preferably in the episode. If I really get them down to the wire and everything else is done and there's 2 trucks to drive back, but I can't fit it in the episode, then I'll do that off cam. No, I want to try and get as much as I can done in the episode. So the approach I'm going to take for the medium logs is, I struggle a little bit because I'm limited in my choices of medium log. I think I said this before. Medium log add-ons. I've sold some of the trucks that might have been good for this. So what I'm doing is I've stuck the medium log add-on on the Thirsty Girl, on the Paystar 5600 TS, and I'm gonna take, so it's got chains on and it's a capable truck, it's just thirsty, and it will do the 1 lot of medium logs. And then I'm taking the Aramatsu with me basically, so it's not got chains, but it is I'm treating it as a powered trailer, which is what I quite often do with it. It slows me down a little bit, but it's quicker than doing 2 trips. And I thought that this medium log add-on on the Paystar could work with the crane, but obviously not. You can see that it doesn't fit. So both of these are full of fuel, which is why the Loaf is empty, is that I've basically siphoned the fuel off to get these 2 moving. So that's my mission. I am going to head down to the map. Let's just make sure I know exactly the route I'm going to take. Same as I did before, I think. I've done this route and had a little bit of a mishap about here, so I've got to be wary of that. I'm basically going to be coming down through this ice. I think I went around the ice last time because I didn't like the look of that road, but we'll leave it until we get to this point and then we'll decide whether the road looks better or the ice looks better, and then eventually get down to this junction where there's a scout fuel carrier with a little bit of fuel in, and then the logging camp where we've got a fuel bunker. So we should have enough fuel to get to the logging camp, and then at the logging camp we should have enough fuel to get back. And that's 2 lots of logs to be picked up from here and taken to the substation. That would be the contract and the game's perspective 100% complete. So let's get started. Get a winch on. I am going to power the Aramatsu. I'm not going to try and do it on Paystar power. It's going to be thirsty enough as it is. But yeah, they're both full of fuel. Let's get going. Quite excited to try out Yukon. It looks like it's a mix of mud, snow and ice. So is this, but it looks from the map as if, or from Map Runner at least, the textures that are on the map, it looks like it's more mud than this, with areas of snow, presumably in the high ground. So it'll be an interesting combination of challenges, I think. And I think it also introduces the mechanic of collecting resources, taking them to a crafting station, having something made at a crafting station, and then delivering that output product somewhere else. So it introduces some new gameplay mechanics that I haven't seen before. So that'll be interesting. Early doors, I can see straight away the challenge is there's very little fuel on the map. It's a very expensive map to buy fuel on. It looks like the fuel price on the map is $8 a litre, which is way too much. I'm not paying that. So I foresee maybe some trips to Michigan for this Paystar with the big fuel tank on board to get me some cheaper fuel. There's one maintenance trailer with 2,000 litres that I think I get. And then the other challenge is that it looks like a resupply zone is available only on the second map. So early doors, I don't have a lot of options to resupply unless I pay for repair in the garage. And my money's pretty tight. So one of the things I also thought about doing, which is one of the reasons that the Aramatsu was at the garage, is I was going to put a bigger engine in the Aramatsu. But I've got about 70 grand cash in the bank, and a bigger engine is 11 grand, and I'm not willing to pay it at this point because money's too tight to mention. Right, so I don't remember this being a very horrible route. There was just one area that I got stuck in some boggy mud that combines with rocks, but I think most of this is frozen. Lights on, coming into dark already. Rather than doing 2 trips, I need something to load the logs at the other end anyway. So rather than doing 2 trips, I just think this makes sense as a combination. Right, so that's the road goes up through there. Shall I stick to that, or shall I stick? I think I'll do what I did last time, which is stick to the ice so far. But I'll go into the area where I got stuck with a little bit more wariness than I did before, because now I know. Before it caught me by surprise. I think that was when I was taking the crane down on the Azov 73-210, and the Azov got its chin stuck And a combination of the chin plus the mud plus the rocks was just took a bit of getting out of. These two are superior in that type of situation anyway, hopefully. Yeah, so dead ahead is a bit muddy as well as rocky. I don't know whether I'm better off just trying to get up to that road now. Probably. Just not go into the bit that I know got me stuck last time. There's a bit of a sheet ice, icy rock ahead. But again, if I stay on the low side of it, the Aramatsu should be okay. It shouldn't be too tippy. On a personal note, I am now on holiday for 2 weeks. It is a stay-at-home holiday for various reasons. I'm not going away, but that means basically I've got 2 weeks of chill-out time at home. And I think one of my objectives within that 2 weeks is to add a new game to the channel. I'm not entirely sure what it'll be yet. I'm having a little bit of think about going through the library of games that I enjoy playing. And let's just see if there's anything that takes my fancy. I've stopped here obviously to have a look at this fuel can. Right, so that leaves that with 77 litres. I'll get that on the way out, and if I don't empty it on the way out, I'll empty it with the cat, because I'll probably bring the cat out on the same route. But I would have got to the cat, I'm pretty sure I would have got to the logging station without a fuel challenge, but nice to fill up anyway while I'm passing something that's directly on my route. And this is the same route that I expect to come back out on. Cargo, medium logs. So 6 cargo left means 2 loads. Switch into the Aramatsu. Get those loaded. Probably want the pace off forward a little bit, really. Should be alright like that, maybe. Crane mode. I know I gush about it every time. I love this as a log loader. If only for the working light and the fact that it tracks the crane. Because the cab is rotating to look at the crane always. Brilliant system. Brilliant system. I'd love to try one of these in the real world. And I need to change into Paystar. Takes a little while to get in and out of crane mode because of that rotating cab, but back into the Paystar to load 3 more. And that is all of the cargo from this logging camp gone, which is why I brought 1 lot of logs through from Lake Coved. Pack the cargo. I don't know if there's fuel in the cat's main tank or not, but... And then the cat has got plenty of fuel to look after itself and the little Zix behind it. But the Paystar is now full to go out. Right, let's get moving. Bit heavier now, so let's just try and avoid tipping. Definitely a lot more wobbly. It's quite funny, they got the same volume of logs according to the game, but it does look like the Paystar is carrying twice as many as the Aramatsu. Take it a little bit wide because the Aramatsu will probably take a slightly tighter line than me. Not doing too bad though. Can't see anything behind me when I look backwards, which is a shame. Oh, especially a shame because it looks like the Aramatsu's got itself stuck on a tree. Okay, I'm going to pull forward a little bit. Get out of the way and then I'll drive the Aramatsu on its own. Because this type of stuff, the mud and snow, the Aramatsu is perfectly capable of moving itself. Slightly tippy hazard there. I want to see, at some point, I'm going to be grabbing all of the fuel out of this. But that trailer's a little bit in... Oh, hang on. I did the wrong one then. I did that the wrong way around. Yeah, 17 litres left. It's in my way a little bit, but... change into the Aramatsu. Lights on. Yeah, it took the line a little bit too tight. A little bit of winch help to try and get a bit of lateral movement. Get me past this tree. There you go, that should do it now. Just back it out a bit further. The way it articulates in both directions makes for some quite interesting cornering. But come at that a bit wide. Back it up a little bit because I may need to reposition the Paystar to go over that rock. Engine off. Change. So I don't know whether I can reach the Aramatsu. No. In terms of refueling. So I want a fairly substantial tree, which I think that one is. Lights on again. That fuel, that scout fuel thing is right in my way. I'm trying to get past it, not over it really. I know it might not look like that, but I was trying to get past it. I think that little corner is dangerous enough to not try and do that on a rope in a convoy. The engine off again, bit of truck swapping. Aramatsu can come through there on its own easier than I can tow it through. And then I can take the fuel out of there. So that's that scout fuel carrier empty, which now means I'm going to delete it because I don't need it. It's just going to be in the way for the cat as well. It's gone. And the Aramatsu can now move forward unimpeded. And it's another trailer not on the map. So I have been deleting those carriers as they empty, unless I think I might need them. Actually leave that on. Change. A-star. A little bit of maneuvering to get through those trees and then around that corner. But I think that's fine because it was safe. This is rolling around like crazy. Very careful of these rocks. It feels quite tippy. And the temptation here is to go right, get myself on the flat. Even though I know that that's a bit muddy. But I think I'm going to resist that temptation. And just try and stay as flat as I can through this bit. Because I think overall that's the safer option. Hope I don't come to regret that decision. I'm kind of trusting that the Aramatsu is just following me and behaving, because I don't want to keep looking back because I know how dark it is for you guys on YouTube's. Right. That didn't quite take the line that I wanted it to. So I now feel the way this thing's rolling around. Oh, my old ticker. My old ticker can't take it. Wow, that was a bit intense from my perspective. But we're now on pretty much good ice, I think, until we rejoin the road. I'm not going to do any gap between seasons. If I'm successfully concluding Kola Peninsula in this episode, if nothing goes wrong in the next 30 minutes of gameplay, then the very next episode after that will follow the normal publishing schedule and we'll be straight into Yukon. And for now I am going to stick to the phase sequence as released by the developers. I'm not going to skip ahead to any of the later phases. I am going to do Yukon. Although somebody did a comment this week that intrigues me, that potentially they saw some news that phase 8 could be Norway. Now previously somebody else said that phase 8 was meant to be some kind of farming based thing with ploughing fields, and that just sounded like an April Fool's joke to me. It doesn't make any sense at all for this game to try and do that. Have I got I've gone too far. I've gone too far. I needed to turn up there. I'm talking when I should be driving. I saw the bridge and thought, well, I don't recognise that. I'm not supposed to be here. Let's just play it safe. Turn the engine off the Aramatsu, release the crane, turn it round, go back, and go the route I should go. I'm not going to try and climb up over that. Or should I? Can I climb up over that? What does that feel like as a route? If it wasn't these logs and how tippy it is, no, I'm not. I don't fancy it. I think play safe was the sensible thing to say, and it's what I should do. Yeah, so Phase 8, I've now heard 2 rumours for Phase 8. One is that it's farming based, with ploughing fields, and that makes no sense whatsoever for this genre of game. There are better farming games out there. One of which, Farming Simulator 22, is a potential candidate for another game for the channel, because I do enjoy playing it. I'm just not sure whether it's what I want to do as a series. Engine off, switch, turn the other one round. I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to go back and I'm going to mark my path more. Yeah, mark my path. Of the 2 rumours, I would prefer Norway. I've never been to Norway, but I have family connections that make it an intriguing idea. For that to be a region to play in. Engine. Hook her up. That's a little bit too tight a winch really, but yeah. Okay. So get onto that trail. Watch me now tip it over on my air quotes safe route. Pay attention, isn't it? So whichever way you look at it, some of these rocks aren't pleasant. But that route looks okay. It is coming into dawn, but let's keep the lights on. Bit rocky on this incline, but at least it's relatively flat horizontally, as long as I avoid any massive rocks. I think that was the right play. I didn't like the idea of going up that snowbank with big static rocks in the snow. Make sure I know which way I'm going here. So it's turn right, first left, basically. And then I'm going to come in over the ice like I did last time. No. Get a rope on that big tree to give me some security. And let that tree help me get around the corner. And then this time I will go to that side of the truck to try and get it a little bit wide of the tree, if it'll go. Get out and maneuver it if I have to, but it's quicker if I can get it to follow the correct line. So this is the thing that I find funny. I was just saying earlier on, I'm on holiday for 2 weeks, and I'm a gamer first and foremost. I started making these videos to learn how to make videos, learn the recording software, learn the editing process, all that. I did all of that because I wanted to learn the process. But ultimately, first and foremost, I am a gamer, and previous vacation time, I've spent the whole week gaming, and now with the luxury of having pretty much a week to myself to do what I want with, my thought process is, what can I do to help the channel for 2 weeks? Potentially a new game. There's plenty of mileage left in this one, and I don't intend at the moment to cut down the episodes. If I end up doing another game, it will be another game rather than less SnowRunner. Doesn't want to go, does it? This is something, actually, thinking about it. I think the Aramatsu is better pulling through this, because it's mud rather than ice. Although it has still got a fairly gutless engine, so maybe not. May end up taking them through this bit one at a time. But generally, that Paystar just needs a nudge. It's not like it needs dragging. It just needs enough movement to cause its tyres to bite. And the ability of the Aramatsu to wiggle its hips makes it a bit easier for it to get through. There we go. Then swap them back. Be a little bit careful that the Aramatsu without chains will slide around a little bit on this ice, but a little bit more under control if it's got something solid on the front with chains. At least I can pick a line that I want to go in, and the Aramatsu's got a rope length of leeway. Same route as before. And you might be thinking, there's a road around there, why doesn't he just use the road? And the answer is I scouted it, and it's got all kinds of snow, avalanche and rock fall around that road route. It's not very civilized at all. So I think this is the road, basically. Unless they let me have a bulldozer. Now for this combination, I don't know whether I should forego going around the bridge, which is a bit dodgy, just have another go at this. I struggled in the Phoenix and the Grad, going up there with two lots of metal beams. I don't know whether that would be safer in these two vehicles though. Let's try it. No, not getting the traction, am I? So if you got one of them up there, the other one would get dragged up quite well. But no, I don't think so. Oh, out of fuel. Interesting. Let's jump into the Aramatsu anyway, which has got quite a lot of fuel. The thirsty girl ran out, but the Aramatsu's got enough. Got them around. Got them, put most of it in there. And I think maybe if I've got this one through and then pull from the top, I could get the Paystar up safely. I'm just a bit worried about the Paystar's pretty big to try and come around this little ledge, which was hard enough in the Aramatsu last time. because of the way the bridge pokes out so far. I think the paystar around this ledge is a bit dodgy. Let's get my logs delivered and then go back and see if we can pull the paystar up. I've also got the Tatterin nearby, which can probably pull it up just as well, but we'll see. So this will be delivery 2 of 3. Done. I'm looking at the clock, and I'm not, in terms of getting this contract done, I don't think that's been bad time at all. I'm probably going to struggle to get all of the vehicles to the garage within my normal recording time. And I don't want to do another episode just to recover vehicles back to the garage. And when I say recover, I mean drive. I don't mean pay to recover, because I don't do that. Yeah, I wonder. So I might end up moving the more important stuff that I have to move, and then do the rest of it off cam before I start the next series. But I don't want to do like a short episode of just me moving trucks to the garage. That's not interesting content, I don't think, unless I fall over. Right, so engine on. And go. Phew. Engine off. Change into the Thirsty Girl. Gave me a little moment of worry there. We did it. What could possibly go wrong? Now, we're there. Even I couldn't tip a truck over in that distance, could I? This will be the final delivery of Kola Peninsula. Engine off. Cargo. Deliver. Power to the masses. Just in time. We'll start fixing the power immediately. I don't see a furnace, but I guess that is a wood burning furnace here somewhere that would generate, unless they needed the logs. I don't know what they needed the logs for. Anyway, not my problem. 11 grand, that's nice. Let's put my money, let's just have a little look at the map. No contracts, they're all done. No tasks, they're all done. And I look on global. Oh, it doesn't tell you on here. All the regional tasks were done a little while ago, I think. Where would I see that? So I think it's probably in the profile menu, isn't it? So there you go. Michigan, Alaska, Tamir, and now Kola Peninsula, 100%. All vehicles found, all watchtowers unlocked, all upgrades unlocked. And I leave the region with nearly $82,000 to redeploy myself into the Yukon, work out what to do next. So that, I think, is a good achievement. I've got a little bit of time left. I'm going to move at least the cat and the little Zix to the garage on camera. So, because this is my fuel. And it's funny, when I paid for a few episodes ago, I felt like it was quite the indulgence to fill the 3,700 litre semi-fuel trailer. But that's all gone. You know, this thing was full in Kola Peninsula. It's not full anymore. My fuel add-on has 1260 litres. 1220 litres. So that fuel add-on is not full. And all of that fuel that we brought in the semi-trailer is used. It's done. So we have gone through a lot of fuel with that thirsty girl. And we're not back to the garage yet. And I've got lots of trucks out the garage that are bone dry empty. I'm not going to bother turning the Zix engine on at the minute. I think I've got enough grunt on the Cat to drag a little Zix. I don't know if I need the metal detector in Yukon. If I do, the Zix will go there. Possibly with mud tyres. I think I bought mud tyres for it and then it was struggling a bit, so I put chains on. So I think I've got both options. Need to learn the map and see how much ice there is if it's mostly a mud and snow map. This Cat feels like you could just drive a straight line over the map. Under this following roads malarkey, that's for lesser vehicles. But no. It was in 4th gear then. I dropped it down to high, but it was actually coping pretty well. So I'll at least get this back to the garage so I can refuel stuff, and then I'll see how much time is left. I could just time-lapse all of the recoveries. I probably will do that. No matter how long it takes, I'll get them all back to the garage, and then I'll just use a combination of cutting and time-lapsing to show you guys the finished article of all of my vehicles at the garage. I've got 3 vehicles that are in the garage in Kola Peninsula. So I can't do the fleet screenshot that I've done in the end of previous series. I've got the Lodestar pickup truck. The what's the other one? So the White Western Star, which I didn't do a lot with, just a bit of medium logging, really. I've got the what's the little thing? The Action, the little 4-wheeler. They're all not retained yet, but they're all available in the Lake Cov garage, ready to be retained. I think for this vehicle I will just chance the mud once I get past this bit of snow, rather than going across that icy bit. One of the other vehicles that I got from this map is still in Don. That's the Ford pickup truck, which I got from this map but didn't really do anything with it on the map. I took it off and tried to use it and struggled to use it with the recovery of Phoenix. The Phoenix, I think, has been one of the best special expeditions I've done. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to do it. This is just going to slip on this ice. This isn't going to get up here very well at all. Nope. Nope, back her up. Hang on, turn the engine on so that backs up with me. Come on, Zix. We're going to stick to the mud, mate. It's what we know best. The only reason I changed my mind, I said I was going to take the mud route, and then when I got here, I didn't like the look of these 2 rocks to get through. But actually that's probably fine. And then right now, this bit, I was up to my axles with the S04E33 Obviously the Cat doesn't care. You can see the mud starting to break up. I think I just chewed it up to the point there was no traction left. Right, so now we're on ice. Got to be a bit careful because we've got no chains. I am intentionally going to take the same wrong turning that I did just now and then see about this getting up by that bridge. It's a shorter route to the garage. I think it should be fine. This looks a bit wide though when you're in a cat. I've been over this in the Paystar, but really, that looks a bit dodgy, doesn't it? It's a little bit of a hair-raising moment. Yeah, instead of pushing on up there, I'm going to go this way. Oh, it feels good. Kola Peninsula defeated. It nearly defeated me. But also it gave me some good content back for it. But it was difficult. That's the place to go, isn't it? Just notice the little Zix engines back on. With the cat, that snow looks that looks pretty good. Turn your engine back off, mate, because you're kind of pulling me around, changing the direction of what I'm trying to achieve. My nose didn't end up where I wanted to point it because the Zix pulled my back end. Right, try again. Don't do it again, mate. I'll leave you behind. Get past these rocks and into the snow and it'll be easy. The amount of fuel it's going to burn, I'll just leave it running. What I'm not going to be doing though, obviously, is deploying this thing full of fuel like I thought I would be when I bought that 3,700 litres. I thought that would mean by the time I got to this garage, I'd at least be deploying the cat full of fuel. But no, I might be deploying the cat empty by the time I've filled up all the other vehicles. It's a worry. Right, I'm going to leave this here because the Paystar needs to come past it. It might be low, or will be low. So let's put it into these two. And then the next, so in terms of getting them from the furthest point out back, the next two is the Phoenix, which has been an absolute champ on this map. It's got the service repair points and then it'll drag the crocodile with it. So engine on. And then we can drag the prop. And again, I might as well, for the sake of it, put have the prop running its engine. It'll just make it a bit easier. I am towing a trailer as well, and it's not the best type of trailer because it's a dolly with no chains, but I do want these service points back so that as I put vehicles in to retain, I fix them as fully as I can before they go. Going to get a bit congested here because I've got a lot of vehicles. What I don't want to do is, if I fill all of the fuel tanks up, I bet I won't have enough fuel in that add-on on the cat to do that. I think what I'll do is I'll bring them all for repairs. So here I will fully repair. I can't resupply my spare wheel, but the service trailer, fully repair the Phoenix, detach it, and I'm not gonna garage the trucks just yet. I'm gonna put them slightly out of the way and park them up, and then what I think I'll do is I will fuel up and garage the ones that I'm going to use in Yukon as I decide to use them, because I just don't think I've got enough fuel to fuel them all up. So this has got just over half a tank. Change vehicle. Can I reach the croc? Yeah. Then the crocodile can come in. Can attach to this service trailer. And can basically, if I can maneuver it to get on it, and can basically be my service truck. So anything that needs repairing can get it from the croc. Not from my add-on. So I've got a full van body add-on, and that's my emergency supplies for Yukon. So service trailer, croc's fixed, loaf is fixed, Yar is fixed, and I can't reach the Antarctic, but I don't think it was broken anyway. And then I'll leave the croc there with a service trailer on it. Anybody who needs a service can come and see the croc to get it before being retained. And then that should be all of the vehicles now in this corner. I don't think there's anything else down at the warehouse except the trailers. So now it's a case of Paystar, Aramatsu and Tatooine back to the garage. Oh, and the cat I left slightly on the way in case the Paystar needs fuel before it even gets to the garage, which it probably will. Straight down over this now. I'm empty. I haven't got any logs to drop, and the Paystar is perfectly capable of doing that. Engine off. Aramatsu. Bit low on fuel. Back her up. Do the same again. And then the Paystar can tow the Aramatsu back. And the Tatooine can drive itself. Because it's the Tatooine and it can do anything. Takes ages for the Paystar's engine to start. Always imagine that to get this thing started, especially in these cold climates, that the driver's out there with a kind of easy start who just doesn't want to run. So that's the Paystar and Aramatsu back at the garage. Actually, I'm just going to garage this one. This is the one I am just going to just garage, because if I do anything at all with this truck, it will be to put its I own one. Where is it? Expanded fuel tank. So it would be to put that on and take it to Michigan and give me a bunch of fuel. And it's got enough fuel in the tank to get to the fuel station in Michigan. So if anything, that'll be the first truck that goes off to Yukon to give me some fuel at the new garage. I may just do that as an indulgence. Next, Tatooine. Bring the Tatooine back home. Again, it's got enough fuel to get all the way to the garage, I think, but I may as well bring the fuel bunker last, seeing as though it's on the route that everything else has to pass. So that's the Tatarian back at the garage, uneventful drive. We'll just take this back. I'm not going to do it now, but this is going to be... any repair points needed will come off that service trailer before I retain the Tatarian. And then I'll fill it up with fuel from the Cat. And I'm not going to do all of that on the episode because that'll just take way too long. So now the final thing to do, this will be the last gasp of the episode. Put some fuel back in myself. See, I've only got 760 litres in that tank now. Don't forget your Zix, mate. There we go. Lights on. Final gasp. Let's get this Cat back and then we're done. So that is all of my vehicles back at the garage, and I will off camera, because I need to decide what I'm going to retain before I distribute the fuel, because I don't think there's enough fuel in this add-on to refuel every single vehicle that's here. So I'm only going to refuel the things that I know I intend to retain in the Yukon. So that is a wrap for Kola Peninsula. 100% complete, ready for Yukon. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed both the episode and the series. It's certainly been the most challenging region so far, and I only expect it to get harder from here on out. I'm glad I came here before going on to a Muir, because I think I've needed to learn some ice mechanics here that would have maybe overwhelmed me if I'd have gone straight to a Muir. No idea really what Yukon's like. I think Yukon's going to be quite a logistics heavy rather than a driving heavy. It's only 2 maps again, but I'm not going to underestimate a 2-map region ever again. This one's taught me my lesson there. Yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will get myself ready for starting the next episode in Yukon. Hope to see you then. But in the meantime, thank you very much and goodbye.